We're good.
Did you turn it on?
All right, the February 16th Middlebury Town Council meeting will be called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kent Kaufman,
Here.
Mike Holloway,
Here.
Gary Kripe,
Here.
Carl Miller,
Here.
and Kevin Miller.
Here.
All right, we have the minutes for the February 2nd meeting.
And those were just revised based off of Jackson's slight revisions.
Yes, I just had a slight correction on page 4, the second full entry, just clarifying the matter regarding my representation of the town and county in the eminent domain matter.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the February 2nd, 2026 meeting, the revised minutes of the February 22nd, 2026 meeting, presented and revised.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This time we'll open the floor for public comments.
Did you turn this on?
Yeah, it should be.
I just want to take a moment. This is the fun stuff that I get to do, and I do it with great gratitude. So if Bobby Baker, Marshall Baker, could come up here.
Marshall. Everybody knows what's going on. Wonder why everybody was here? Right, yeah. You didn't think they liked you that much.
So this is a key to the town of Middlebury, presented with gratitude to Marshal Robert Baker in recognition of his 30 years of service with the Middlebury Police Department. Marshal Baker has touched the lives of many in various ways over the last 30 years. Robert began his police career as a reserve officer in 1994 and was hired as a full-time deputy in February 1996. From 1998 to 2002, Robert was joined by his K-9 partner, Tyson, and then in 2013, Robert moved into the rank of lieutenant. He became deputy chief in 2015 and started serving in his current capacity as marshal in 2022. Marshal Baker has spent hundreds of hours reviewing and solving cases, all to keep the town of Middlebury a safe place to live and raise our families. Marshal Baker, we thank you for your service and dedication to our community. And so this key is a key to the town. We're going to start handing these out, but it's a special honor to be able to receive a key to the town. And
Will that get into the time capsule?
no, but they did say that it was a bottle opener. So I don't know what beverage you might want. So, and we were also joined by your family. They are on YouTube. So they can't talk, but they're hearing all of this. So we just appreciate all of what you do.
Thank you.
We know how much you like the spotlight.
Thank you for coming along to embarrass him fully.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
One other item that I have under public comment, it's not on the agenda. Robert and Seth will be going to the WET conference. It's in Indianapolis, and their tickets are to get into are free, and they also have a driver going down. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that there's no cost to the town, except they just won't be here in town that day. So it's on Wednesday.
Marty in Robert's office. All right. Any other public comments? All All right, expense vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve the expense vouchers for disbursement as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, unfinished business, BS&A software agreement.
This is just back up for your approval. Again, if it is approved, either I would need to be allowed to be the signatory because it was sent to me in a DocuSign. If you still would like Carl to sign it, just let me know and I will get an email to Carl instead. And then I have the addendum also ready to go if it is approved to send to them based off of Jackson's requests.
I just want to also insert something with this. We have, we've been working on the strategic technology plan, and we have Jeff here with Abin-Marsh to, if there's any questions regarding this with regards to the cloud and different things, because this is more of how the whole world is going. And he's a wealth of knowledge. So if you have any questions or want to hear from him, just wanted to offer that up.
Thank you. So the total, $70,210.
That's what the current total contract is, yes, because that includes the 23 days of training. But again, we will only get billed for the training days that are used.
So that's a not to exceed then?
That's correct.
Which also includes the waiving of the mitigation fee.
Migration.
Migration.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little bit hard to read. $48,055.
Right.
Okay.
I would like to see the agreement sent, since it's a town agreement, and have it signed by Carl like we do other town agreements. That would be my preference.
I'm with that.
Is that a motion?
Would that be a motion?
Not yet, I was just saying if we do it.
You want to make it or?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we move forward with the BS&A software agreement as presented, not to exceed that $70,210
$210. With Carl.
with Carl as the signator.
70,210?
That's what I said, right?
That sounded like
I
seven.
thought you said 7.
No, 70. No, I swallowed on it because it's a big number.
It is. a big number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compared to what we were paying.
Yeah.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I think I heard everybody say yes. All righty. GIS technology and strategic planning. I feel like we're about to get a little smarter.
Hi, my name's Jeff Weaver. I'm the Chief Information Officer with Abin-Marsh. About last year, last year we submitted we worked on a technology strategic plan with the town on the GIS and to identify any pain points or any issues that you might have utilizing software and how you can more effectively utilize software and to help reduce risk, but more importantly, to start making cost-based decisions and data-driven decisions. We identified probably about 20 recommendations, and we took those recommendations, prioritized them, met with Mary, met with the rest of the town and our department heads, and talked about how we can start kind of offering solutions to start developing better data standards and taking that data and being able to utilize it to make, again, better, more effective data-driven decisions. We've put that together into a new proposal, and I just gave it to Mary just a couple minutes ago, with a lot of actions, including implementing software that you already have and taking advantage of the software you have, a lot of training, a lot of developing new tools, a lot of mobile applications to get data collected out in the field. And it's not just a cost reduction that we're looking for in cost efficiencies, it's also the ability to reduce risk for the town, to reduce risk in making better decisions. And that's also something that the state, with things like SB1 and those types of requirements, the state's really looking for you to make better justification of how you're spending your tax dollars. And that's what these tools are really kind of set up to do, is give you all the knowledge and information that we can find, from PACER ratings to risk-based assessment for your utilities, for your underground, for any right-of-way work, for collaborating with other utilities, the county, to help make those decisions more affordable.
I noticed one of your recommendations was, and correct me if I'm wrong, the database administrator and an asset manager. Could that feasibly be done by consultant? I mean, obviously, I think you're recommending hiring 2 positions, but can that be done as a consultant?
Absolutely.
Manager or consultant director or something, or is it something you feel needs to be a person 20,
At this
here
stage-
every day?
At this stage, maybe not so much, because the amount of data you have is not as formative as it's going to be. But it could be someone on staff, or it could be what we call a managed service provider. It could be somebody that could work with the town remotely and just help to maintain that data. I'm not sure if you're aware, there's several new initiatives by the state. One of them is the state's requiring now, an IURC is requiring asset management plans, not just for water or not just for SRF requirements, but also for the sewer department. It's going to be required in 2027 to have an asset management program, and most people are doing asset management through GIS, the Geographic Information Systems, using the same system you already have.
Is that something that could be handled by like Baker Tilly? No, okay, thank you.
Can I just interject? So we have what's, like, it's pulling all these different things. So we have PACER rating for our roadways. We have, in our GIS, we're working on making sure that we have the size of a water main, the year it was installed, same with sanitary sewer, same with storm sewer. And it's taking all that information, pulling it all together so you can make good, sound decisions on what is next, like what should be done next. Where are our bad points? Like Bristol Avenue, ever since I've been here, there's been almost 2 breaks a year. Like pulling it, it's keeping all that data so that way it's at our fingertips so we can make good, sound decisions. And as a council, you can make good, sound decisions on what's the next step. And it's not just all in, like, a lot of this stuff is in my head or, working with the guys, like trying to figure out and develop a plan. We do have a capital plan, but at times you second guess yourself, is this what we should be doing? Should we be doing Bristol Street or should we be doing Mill Street? Where we've got all sorts of, we have 2 mains down there. We don't know what goes to where. We don't know anything, and it's old. So it's putting it in there, taking that information, and then able to generate and give us what we need to do our job and what you guys need to do your job. So.
But, and forgive me, so, for instance, the GIS, on-call support, 28,000, framework development, 9,000, work order management system, 16,000. So, again, it sounds like you're building a whole new GIS system. Is that what we're kind of getting at, or what we're working towards?
It's really more of an asset management and data-driven decision tools. So it's identifying all the data you have, and maybe the best example is the lead service line issue that the country's facing right now. There's $45 billion available for that. Most cities, most municipalities, 50 years ago, were not tracking that information. They didn't have the opportunity, they didn't have the tools to be able to identify who has lead. We have a couple of clients who actually did that, and they've saved quite a bit of money because they were able to take that data, maintain it, and when asked by the state to return it, they had that data. Similar scenario with what Mary was saying, things like street paving, water main replacement, catch basin lining, working with outside agencies, gas company, NIPSCO, developing a tool that can help you find collaborative opportunities where streetlights, ADA ramps, and find all that work, be able to coordinate that work with the other utilities, reduce the cost, share restoration costs, help control or minimize the impact on citizens, street shutdowns, things like that. We're really looking at identifying all of this data that's out there that you guys currently have that's really passing you by right now, finding a way to consolidate it, put it into very many systems. So along with the work order management system, which is a very big one, we have the PACER ratings, we have the capital improvement program, so you'll be able to see on a screen all the projects, all the candidates, all the potential projects that you could be doing, and start really doing analysis and finding collaborative opportunities, not just internally or with utility agencies, but also with private developers and things to help bring in more work and more income into the city, into the town.
When I was looking through the planning, and there was a prioritization line, ones, twos, and threes. Can the ones then be broken down into prioritization? So, instead of all the ones being hit at once,
Or are those per year?
or I don't know,
Like
that's,
year-
I couldn't.
Year 1, year 2, year 3?
No, it's a prioritization, so I'm assuming it means that ones are more important than the twos or more important than the threes.
Yeah, basically ones are the most important, but I don't remember if they have this in that strategy of how we would create the foundation of what we already have and then build upon it to make the tools that we need, so that way then we can come to the final of having what we need so we can make decisions.
There were predecessors for each.
Right.
for each
Those
of the
charts in
kind
there
of
are
three
more
phases that
examples
we
than they
had.
are hard
Yeah.
facts.
No, I got that. Okay, so has there, go ahead.
What we're talking about is taking this system and this system and this data system and this data system, putting it into one database.
And in many ways,
That
the
can-
knowledge that each person has, not just data that you've collected, the data it's in paper format, it's on back pocket lists, it's on.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
put it
And
in.
it can look at all those things and spit out, hey, I want to know the priority of this area. What's the priority, this quadrant or this quadrant, and it can pull, oh, well, the street's this old, the sewer line's this old. And so you can coordinate all those projects together rather than fixing one and then fixing the other one.
Right, and just even right down to, we have the capability of videoing sanitary sewers and storm sewers. But that information's on a thumb drive somewhere.
Right.
And if we would do something like this, you could click it. I don't know how to do this stuff, that's why. But you could put it to that, so that way you could click on the line and then be able to watch the video.
Right.
I mean,
No, I think I
It's
got
powerful.
the reasoning, and the need. But, and I may have just answered part of my own question when I got to 3.1 on the cost breakdown. So that there, there's we want to do these things in year one, and then we want to do these things in year two, to piggyback on those and continue to build it.
and we had talked about in our meeting, it would be nice to be able to break it down in years. But what my concern is if we don't really tackle this hard, we have US 20 coming at us, Bristol Avenue, State Road 13. Some of this stuff is really going to keep us hopping. And so there's a little bit of concern if we don't push hard on this like this year, when it's a little bit lighter. There's still a lot going on, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit lighter. And so that way we have the foundation and, the programs ready to go. But I understand it's also a lot of money.
Right, well, and so, speaking of, it's a lot of money, and getting to that point, this wasn't something that we budgeted for in 2026?
No,
Because it is related to public works, it's related to roads, it's related to sewer and water pipes, it's related to, that foundational parts of our town, is TIF money available for that?
That would be a Jackson question.
Jackson, is
because
TIF money available for that?
I am not sure how that would work, because it's existing and it's,
Yeah. For spending the TIF funds, basically, you have to have a reasonable argument that these services that you're contracting for, or the things that are either serving the infrastructure that serves the TIF district, and to a degree, that would be true, just because it's water, sewer, that's always
And road.
something, and road. Those are always generally, the hard capital assets that we often spend those TIF funds on. I don't immediately see a problem
Okay.
necessarily with, getting the software side of things up to date to help manage those assets.
Because I think, for me, the argument would be, if we don't do the asset management of the current assets and know what we have, we would overspend TIF money incorrectly by not having the proper data to do them either in the right priority or know where all the current underlying
Exactly.
material or assets are. So being able to track the current assets and develop that could save us in the future from making expenditures that weren't necessary based on knowledge that we had.
yeah, and I think that we could potentially look at like a third with like water, sewer, and, either MVH or C-Edit or
Sure, sure.
one of those lines.
Well, I guess that kind of answers my question, is that we don't have to have a, pull out of the general, that it's, if it's water, it's partly water, if it's sewer, it's partly sewer, if it's roads, it's MVH, all of that. That makes not only more sense, but makes the number easier to swallow.
Typically, anything GIS related, including salaries, are split a third, and a third. So, a third MVH, a third water, a third sewer, because
If we could
that's
add,
what
if
it
we
all
could split
deals
it in
with.
fours and add tariffs, or tariffs, and add TIFs, I'd feel even better.
And Mary, do we have upcoming SRF funding that we're seeking to get for any of these particular projects that we would need the asset management side of things covered?
We're looking at potentially SRF for the water tower, a second new water tower, and then also for Bristol Avenue.
Okay.
And
And I'm just sort of thinking out loud here on the fly, but sometimes there's sort of gap financing, bond anticipation note is sort of what I was thinking as part of that project, if this could be wrapped into that at a time.
Your engineering preliminary reports that are required for SRF can be generated actually from this GIS data.
yeah.
So there
And-
might be a couple of financing options
And
potentially.
right now, what we're doing is, so that way we can answer to State Board of Accounts, we've been, Josh and Tim have been doing lots of long hours trying to just measure things and do things and look up years, so we can put it in GIS, but we can also put it in spreadsheets, because we're not to that point to pull everything like we need to. So there's hours and hours going into this. Jesse's been then pulling all that data together, so that way we can submit it to Baker Tilly, so they can then tell us what our asset value is.
Yeah, right,
I-
right.
Whereas
Well, I
this would
think,
do that.
I think long-term,
This
I
would,
see the,
it-
yeah.
in the long run, this
Right.
would be so helpful that we wouldn't have to do all that
Right.
extra work.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
like you said, it
Well,
was
we
safe.
wouldn't have all those paper files to go chase down to see where everybody's buried either, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
be,
Right, right. Well, I think, yeah, for me, I think because it was such a large nut to crack at one time is finding as much support as possible in whatever avenues are possible, because the end result of this, 25 years from now, the people sitting up here won't be doing what we're doing 25 years after the people that put it all in the ground, or 50 years ago, or whatever.
They'll be more informed.
They'll be more informed. Well, and the decisions can be better, and those decisions are always more economical, right? And so the value of it is, to me, a no-brainer, the value. What gets hard up here is how do we pay for it, right? So, I mean, it could be the greatest value in the world, but if we can't get there with the right funding, then it's almost like yeah, it'd be great, but, we can keep following the yellow brick road, we'll never get to the wizard.
Can I add also that probably the largest incentive for most area, and we're working all over the county with Elkhart County, Pumpkin Vine, Goshen, Elkhart. The biggest thing is the opportunity cost in gathering this data and making it available for when AI is a thing and it's there, and AI is built around being able to access data and pull that data and bring you the answers that you want. So this is really the foundation, and this kind of data governance that we're suggesting is really the foundation for AI.
Okay. Well, and I can see as, from state houses, around the country, but certainly in Indiana, as the drive to keep taxes low continues, which, Lord bless it, it should, also makes it more difficult to figure out where and when to spend the money that we're going to have, those limited funds, and any of these things that can make those decisions more equitable, more reasonable, more timely, is going to save those tax dollars and spend them wisely.
Right.
And that is exactly right. And just to add to that point, the state itself is not really, you're not losing funds. They're just looking at ways to utilize them better and make them, and really the towns, municipalities are required to justify how they're using that. And I think Indiana's doing a great job at requiring its citizens to be able to use that economically. And IFA and IDEM have both, we've worked with both of them, and our program has been adopted by IFA, so they're very, very aware of this.
Great. No, I like the idea. I think for us, it's, what are we looking at? So like, are we gonna make somebody's gotta bring in, so we wanna spend this money for this much, whatever this much is. And then discussing where we can pay that from. So the next step would be yours, I'm assuming, to say we want to implement these items, and it's going to cost, X number of dollars, and then discussing where we could draw those funds from, general fund, third, add TIFs in there, whatever we can do creatively, since we didn't budget for them, and then be prepared in 2027's budget, and 28's budget, and 29's budget.
Right.
To pay for those things ahead of time. And I agree, we shouldn't wait, right? So if we have to get creatively within the law, Jackson, to pay for the things that we need to do in 2026 that were not budgeted, while all along being prepared for 27, 28, and beyond in the budget to do those things.
We can always loan ourselves money from
Sure.
other funds.
Sure.
If needed
Sure.
as well.
Okay? And again, it's whatever
Pay it back.
way's creative enough to not hurt the citizens now, and be ready for when we should budget it in.
And the 153,960, that's over 3 years, not just a initial first year.
No,
Yeah,
that's the
that's-
entire
yeah.
cost for all programs.
Right, so.
All programs.
So,
Right.
so year one would be 44,080, year two would be 51,400, year three, 58,480. So it'd be
I-
spread out, so it's not like we have to come up with
Correct.
153,000
No, I get that.
all in one.
Well, but that's
No, am I?
not necessarily,
So,
that's what Mary was saying.
we can do it that way. But you're putting us further and further behind because of all these projects that are coming. Because just like we need to get all of our water service lines, we have it in an Excel spreadsheet, but, we went and, changed out 200 East Berry. Well, that's triggering something with me. I have to make sure that I update that Excel spreadsheet because and like all of this information, like if we would say, how many lead goosenecks do we have in town? Okay, well, I'll have to go to my spreadsheet because like not everything is correlated between the spreadsheet and GIS and all of that. It's just, the longer we prolong this stuff, and with what we have coming at us, I'm concerned.
So you want to do this in 1 year, not 3 years?
I think that if we can,
Let me ask, can it be done in 1 year?
Yeah, what's the length of time for implementation?
Can, and to be honest, it'd probably be easier to do it in 1 year than it would be in 3.
Okay.
Because if you notice the phases. of
Yeah.
this are- The first one is really setting up your data.
Right,
If you set up your data, then wait another year.
before you,
Collecting
you're
it,
going
then
back.
wait another year to build the applications.
that makes sense for me. No, I get that. It does make sense.
and we can bring something back at the next meeting.
And I think that's the smartest way, is like, so maybe in all of these items that are in what were broken down, and maybe it's 80% of them, or maybe it is 100% of them. But whatever it is, to bring that and say, here's the proposal, here's what we want to do in the next 9 months, 12 months, here's what it'll cost, then we can go to work on, here's how we pay for it.
Right.
Okay? We are smarter. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it. We don't appear it, but we are.
It's a lot.
No, I get it. No, I get it. I mean, I do. I get it. I do get it.
Robert, I think, talked about that last year when he first brought it to our attention about how much more possibility was involved in that. Now we know. At least we think we know.
Well, I'm not even sure I know.
Until it's happening, we really don't
Now,
know.
that's why we hire smarter people than us.
I'll just say, thank you for the report. It was.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, very, very informative.
All right, interlocal agreement with NDOT for US 20 water main relocation project.
So this was brought to you at the last meeting, but it's basically US 20 is NDOT's requiring us to relocate all of the water main along US 20 from County Road 35 to State Road 13. The total cost of that utility relocation is $4,818,000. And the town would be in charge of paying 10% of the total operating budget for the water department, so that's $206,000. And any type of betterment cost, basically increasing the water main size. So that is $173,000. So the total funds that NDOT would be paying towards the project is $4,439,000. And the total funds that would be paid by the town is $379,000. And we have this money set aside in the redevelopment commission and in the Elroy TIF. So we're asking for your consideration to approve that.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the interlocal agreement with NDOT for the US 20 water main relocation project.
Can we set an amount not to
For
exceed
not to exceed 379, 537.40,
with the funds coming from Elroy?
with the funds coming.
Thank you.
Just make that motion. With the funds coming from Elroy.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, interlocal agreement with NDOT for US 20 sanitary sewer relocation project.
I'm not doing this.
Okay.
So again, this is similar to the water one, only this cost is a total cost of $5,705,000. 10% of the total operating budget is $338,000, and the betterment cost to increase the water main side, or not to increase sewer or anything, there is no increase. So the total funds paid by NDOT would be $5,367,000. There's some extra dollars there. And then the total funds paid by the town is $338,000. And again, the Middlebury Redevelopment Commission has set aside funds out of the Elroy TIF district to pay for this. This is huge. I've been working on this since 2018, and having close to, I don't know, what is it?
Almost 10 million.
Almost 10 million.
A lot of money.
Granted, we have to expend some, but this is a gift. And we've had just 2 water main breaks already out there on US 20. So I appreciate NDOT working with us on this.
Well, yeah, we're barely at 700,000.
Right.
For $10 million worth of work, so
I'll make a motion that we accept and approve interlocal agreement with the Indiana Department of Transportation for the US 20 sanitary sewer relocation project with town funds from the Elroy TIF not to exceed $338,049.00.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, 2026 Community Crossings Matching Grant Agreement with NDOT.
So we kind of made the second cut on the 2026 Community Crossing Matching Grant. And the attached agreement is in the amount of $238,584.40. This is an 80% state-funded and 20% local funds. The $238,000 is the state funds. So we're requesting town council review and consider approval with this grant agreement. We already have an ordinance in place that allows me to electronically sign that document, but I need your approval first.
I'll make a motion that we approve and accept the 2026 CCMG agreement, local roads and bridge matching grants with NDOT in the amount of $238,584.40.
Actually, that's our part.
Or, I'm sorry,
That's
the amount we received.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Me,
Okay.
one of us.
You're good.
Both of them. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, contract for 2026 asphalt paving project.
So on February 2nd, the town council received and opened the bids for the 2026 asphalt paving project, and the bid results are attached in the information. Milestone Contractors was the low bidder in the amount of $298,230.50, and we are requesting council's consideration for approving the contract. Again, this is where the community crossings will pay 80% and the town will pay 20%, which is $59,646.10. And that'll come out of MVH.
I'll make a motion to approve the asphalt paving contract with Milestone.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ordinance
I'm
720.
sorry, point of order. Mary, thank you so much for your time and energy for both that water and sewer project and everything. So again, thank you.
Ordinance number 724B, amending 2026 salary ordinance.
There were some additional changes made today regarding the water department. I don't know if everybody's up to speed on that, so if not, I can elaborate more.
Please do.
So the foreman position is currently vacant, it's in water. And that has been moved, that employee has been moved now to laborer one, which also was a decrease in salary of $2. And because of the laborer one position, we've also then moved Richard into that position as a laborer one. Because of the job description fitting everything. We probably should have done that when we gave him his dollar raise when he got his water operator license, and that was an oversight on both myself and Mary, not realizing that that position is what that was kind of for. So I'm also made a change to move him into a laborer one, but his salary is not changing, just his title position, yeah.
So the one that we have doesn't include the water?
Correct, because that change was just made today.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 724-B, amending the 2026 salary ordinance revised, as Shaylee had stated.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Request to hire Laura Perry as full-time officer.
Thank you. And thanks for the surprise. I'm not sure how I let that get by me. I knew it was 30 year, it didn't even. And it went fast. It's amazing how fast it's gone. But real quick, while I'm up here, I want to thank the guys behind me, my crew. We got an amazing crew out there. Really good. That makes it so easy for me. It makes it way easy. What I want to do tonight is request permission to hire Laura Perry as full-time. She's been here as a reserve for over 20 years, giving up her time to take care of the town. So time to move her up. She's ready to move into to a full-time spot. She's been doing the part-time thing her entire time. So I just want to get permission to bring her aboard full-time.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request to hire Laura Perry as full-time officer.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that change was already in that previous salary ordinance.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Laura.
Yes, congratulations.
Interlocal agreement with Elkhart County for funding wastewater treatment plant expansion.
So this is an interlocal agreement with the Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission and also Elkhart County Commissioners and Council. From the preliminary engineering report that was completed by Donahue and Associates, the wastewater treatment plant upgrades and expansion, the total cost was $22.9 million, which is a significant amount of money. So we asked Donahue to go back and see where we could possibly do it in phases. So it's been divided into two phases, with the first phase of construction being in 2030 and that costing $9.8 million. So Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission has agreed to this agreement, and they're agreeing to fund $9 million towards the project, which is 40% of the project's total cost. This is in course, what's the right word? We've been working with Elkhart County Regional Sewer District and Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission about expanding, not us expanding, but them expanding and providing sewer to the area up around the toll road on the south side. So that's why they're willing to put money towards this project. And then we're also requesting consideration from the Middlebury Redevelopment Commission to fund $3.75 million, and the remainder of the project cost we would have to go through some type of financing, like the Indiana Finance Authority SRF funds. But that would be in the second phase of the project, and I don't know what year that would be. But we would like to design the whole thing up front and have it, have it shelved. But this is the first step in working through this. And if I miss something, Jackson, please let me know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this was still in draft form.
So at the last town council meeting, we went over it in a little more detail as well. Happy to answer any questions, and I can go over it very briefly again. The draft I had sent over is essentially the same that was approved at the redevelopment. So that includes the project description. So I guess the important thing to keep in mind is that the town is agreeing to this interlocal to basically conduct the project. The estimated amount of the project in the interlocal for the funding purposes is $22.5 million. Like we said, it's a 60-40 split between town various revenue sources and then county redevelopment at 40. Basically, what the county is purchasing is the right to connect and the assurance from the town that they can connect when the time comes and that the project will be carried out. So other than that, the terms and conditions of the connection, we basically refer to that regional sewer district agreement that they did with Napanee as the basic form, subject to whatever our sewer use and rate ordinance are. So those are the big money items and terms in this for you to be aware of. town's gonna own all of the assets. That doesn't give the county an ownership right in the wastewater treatment plant or anything. Town will carry out the project, and that's basically the general terms, and the term of the agreement is basically until the completion of the,
The carrying out of the
project.
project is the expansion here, not the expansion up north, right?
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
It's the expansion of the wastewater treatment plant.
Right.
We would have no involvement in any of that cost going north.
Or
of-
work. When we get to a point where we would need to do additional funding, whether it's, state revolving funds or whatever, those can be based on rates that we're gonna collect. Once the project's
It'll have that
complete.
as one of our,
Yeah, okay.
our customers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Right, if it's developed and connected at that point, yeah. Because they'll have their own connection cost to ours once they
Right.
get to that point. But like anybody who connects onto that expansion, that is up to the sewer district on how they collect that. We're just taking it and treating it.
Any cost overruns are bore by the town of Middlebury, not, we can't go back and renegotiate the 60/40 split.
Right.
It's-
Right. I mean, you can always ask for more, but as far as this goes, yes, the town is on the hook for basically everything that's not covered by that.
Okay.
I agree.
Right. Because this is something that needs done regardless of the northern expansion or not. If they never expand and connect on, this is still something that we need to do. So this is kind of a way of, I don't want to say free money because it's not free money.
It's help.
But it's
Helping us
helpful
To pay for something. we
one way
already
or the
need.
other.
Have Robert do it on a weekend.
With a shovel.
Yeah.
2 weekends? No more than 2.
I'll make a motion that we accept and approve the interlocal agreement with Elkhart County for funding of the wastewater treatment plant expansion and the agreement as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Request for payment to JPR invoice number 52565 for water system improvements.
So JPR's invoice in the amount of $16,909.22 for the work done between January 1 and January 31 of this year for the water system improvement projects. This is, we need this approval prior to sending it to the Indiana Finance Authority to pay through the state revolving fund.
I'll make a motion that we approve the JPR invoice number 52565 in the amount of $16,909.22 for the work done January 21st, 2026 to January 31st, 2026 for the water system improvement project.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, request funds for Middlebury Chamber of Commerce.
So we received an invoice in the amount of $15,000 for the Middlebury Chamber of Commerce. And last year, we increased it from $7,000 to $10,000 that we gave to the Chamber of Commerce. I wasn't quite sure where we wanted to be with this one. I think we budgeted $10,000, but
Yeah, their initial request last year was for the 7,000, which is what we did. They came back and asked for more money. We negotiated it to the 3,000. I don't remember if they asked initially for $4,000 more or $5,000 more. So that's where the 10,000 comes from for this year.
yeah.
Or, well, I guess that's kind of where we were expecting, I guess I should say, to come in at. But this is up to your guys' approval as to how much.
They given us any sort of budget, what their expenses are?
I don't think that we've ever received anything like that. We can request it.
Well, it would be nice to know because it went again from 7 to, it was going to be 12.
Right.
We settled at 10. Now they're at 15. Like, and I know it's a sponsorship, right? It's a legacy sponsorship
that we're sponsoring the Chamber of Commerce. But it would be nice to know where those funds are going, because we're not the only sponsor,
Right.
right? There are others. But it would be nice to know, like, what are those funds spent on? And to improve the, commerce in Middlebury
Right.
before we approved it.
Yep.
And I think last year with their request, they kind of did explain some of that, which came from a lot of the need for Summerfest with the expansion that they've been having and the success they've been having with it. But I mean, we can always ask them before we send anything. We don't have to approve this tonight. If that's something you'd like to see, we can
Well, I'd
ask
like to
for
see
it.
it.
And
I would.
It'd be nice
Yep.
to look at something, at least say this is what it's for, this is why it's there.
Or why it is what it is, the amount is.
All right, request funds for Boys and Girls Club.
So we did receive an invoice for the Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $4,000.
last year was 3,500. I know last year they asked also for $4,000, but because we hadn't really expected that, we stayed with our 3,500, but I did tell them I would plan for the budget for the 4,000. So again, this is kind of in that line, and there's money there, so.
That is what we have budgeted for it, right? So,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the request for funds for Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $4,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to publicly thank Robert Miller. He came in on a weekend and did this door out here, and it's done beautifully, and it has saved many meetings.
It's already made a world of difference.
Yes. So, thank you.
Immediate impact, Robert.
It's pretty, Robert. It's pretty.
Looks very nice. Yeah, supervisor, I heard.
Yeah.
All right, department reports. Steve?
Two quick things, and I'm kind of stuck back here, so, one, Marshall Baker, congratulations, awesome. And, so that requires, taco wagon tomorrow. So, our census metering system tower gateway base station, or better known as the TGB that you've heard, is in. We do have it in our possession. March 9th and 10th will be installation. So that's why I wanted to say this tonight, because next council meeting will be too late. So, and then probably a week after that, depending on Shaylee's, time, will be training with that for reading meters and all that good, wonderful stuff. So, that's it.
It's moving right along.
Good deal.
Good news. Robert?
I'm good.
Well,
We
That's
saw the
debatable.
door, we know.
That's debatable.
Good work on that. Cole?
I got nothing other than thank you for approving the interlocal agreement to keep the plant upgrade moving in the right direction.
Thank you for your work, Cole. Tom is not here. Do we have anything reports on parks at all? All
Nothing
right.
other than in the report.
Okay. And Marshall Baker, anything to add?
Real quick, yeah. As I mentioned in my report on the new RMS, the Caliber RMS system, Lori and Brian have been going through the classes, the training and all that stuff. And I know it was kind of sprung on us, the money, we weren't really expecting it, but it had to be done. We had to go with something sooner or later, so we went with what everybody we agreed with, which was the Caliber. But I don't know if Lori wants to talk about it or not. She's been going through the training. It's going to streamline everything quite a bit. When I started, my biggest thing was getting a lot of this stuff digital, because my handwriting is atrocious. And it just makes things faster. And this is just, it's throwing so much more onto us to help us with our reports and everything. Is there anything you want to mention at all? Okay.
Just that you know his handwriting is atrocious.
Shy.
So just so you know, the midnight guys, when they're out there working, everything is at their hand. It's now, Brian's got it to where you can put it on their phone. And we've got around that, so that's kind of nice. But when he stops a DUI and the guy's not cooperating, you know, he went to phlebotomy school, he can do it in less than an hour. He can type up a search warrant and have it signed by the prosecutor and the judge be done.
Wow.
When it used to take hours and
Right.
hours. And that's incorporated all in this too now. We got it, but it's separate, but now it's gonna be all, in everything, when we do our cases, everything is just gonna be funneled right in together. Less work for Lori, less paperwork coming in that she has to collect and scan and all that. It all goes in. So it's gonna be much nicer. So that's where that money is going, and we appreciate
That's
it.
good to hear.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thank you, Marshall. Announcements, Middlebury Park Board meeting, February 18th at 10 a.m. here at the Town Hall. Elkhart County Board of Zoning Hearing Officer, 9 a.m. on February 18th at Public Services Building. Elkhart County Board of Zoning Appeals, February 19th at 9 a.m. at the Public Services Building. Middlebury Redevelopment Commission meeting, February 26th at Town Hall at, what time?
7 a.m.?
7 a.m. 7 a.m. it is. Middlebury Town Council meeting will be March 2nd here at the Town Hall at 6 p.m. And we are adjourned. Thank you.